Hi, it is snowing still, and it got a little sharper, a little windier, and more snow. You can see it probably on my jacket as we go further. What I wanted to give you an idea of today is the concept of a garden of love. So this is winter here in St. Louis, and plants go dormant. They go to sleep during the winter. Some only last a year. They're called annuals. All over the country when I was in Los Angeles, there were still annuals. By the way, I was once a garden designer, so this is my thing. And yet some bushes and some plants that you would expect not to make it at all in winter are still doing interesting things. For instance, these roses. They're supposed to be completely quiet, but little buds of little sprouts are starting to grow on this one. And that's a tea rose, not supposed to be doing well in this kind of weather at all. And it's just kind of dusty and waiting. You can feel it waiting. Some of these plants are just looking terrible on the outside, these, but they're going to come right back. They're going to come back in spring, and when they come back, I'll cut off all of the what looks like dead straw-like branches now, and then the new sprouts will come through. You can kind of see some green stuff in that Columbine already. It's just waiting there. So can that be like your love life? Do you feel like you go through seasons? Like sometimes you're in bloom and sometimes you're in a fallow period, you're in fall and the leaves are falling off of your relationship, or you're dating and you just want to hibernate in the winter, even if you don't have seasons of weather where you live. Well, this is how I see it. From the outside, it looks like, oh, it's gone cold, it's fallow, it's waiting, it's faded. Something is not working. It's a period of downtime. You're not dating, you don't have a guy. Sometimes you're in bloom, it's spring, and everything is amazing, and there are blossoms, and it's all pink, and it's wonderful. Well, is it really all that different? And that's kind of what I want to look at. What's happening to these plants is they're not just going to sleep and hibernating and just like a flat line. They're gathering nutrients. They are experiencing a period of rest. Something is happening in their systems that is supposed to happen. And it is an evolutionary thing. In other words, it contributes to their lives. So if you feel like you're in a downtime in dating, it doesn't mean you should stop dating. It doesn't mean you should stop the apps. Just because you feel tired and you don't want to, you can just take a rest. But that rest could also be a time of doing research, doing things with your hair and clothes and thoughts and your business. It could be growing something else. You are growing and changing whether or not you do it on purpose. You're going to. That's the way we all are. And you can accept the fact that it may be snowing on your love life, yet it could be a beautiful, light, sweet snow. Maybe you'll meet a guy at the market who's not gorgeous, but he could turn into a nice date. Maybe you will learn something about being attracted to edgy men as opposed to being attracted to nice guys, who is what you want. And I'll leave you with this thought. Just like there will be rain and food in this garden and birds and all kinds of stuff happening, and spring will come, and even in winter there will be plants and buds. This one's doing really well here in this cold winter. Even though all of this is happening, they are still having their experience and they are still growing. And like that, you can take a moment to see if maybe what you thought you should be doing was maybe not what you want to be doing. So if you thought you should be on all these apps, but you don't want to be on those apps, maybe you don't want to be on those apps because of the thought that drove those apps. So I know that's kind of strange. Take a rest, dial back, and let's see what it is you actually want. What you want is company, love, sex, fun, somebody who's devoted to you and loves you and is sort of unquestionably devoted to you, somebody that you feel good being around, someone who makes you feel happy. Those are what you want. So wanting that can lead you to try an app, as opposed to thinking you need to. So if you could just take your downtime, your winter, your snow time, and dial back enough just to see what it is you want and where you're coming from. And if you can come to the dating apps or a date or a whole week full of dates with men you've never met before, with a kind of the feeling of what you want, and let that drive you, you're in complete feminine energy. And once you're in complete feminine energy, you're blooming. You're ready to bloom. You're getting ready to bloom. You're blooming something. Something is being bloomed in those plants right now. And my thought about you and me is that we're evergreen. We're always green. We're always blooming. They're all different kind of plants here. Which one are you? Which one do you want to be? What you want to do is, if you're in a rest period, you want to stay in feminine energy and find what you want, what you desire, and then start letting that become the action. As an evergreen, you can kind of do whatever you want and let yourself be in chaos. That's a really fun way to experience all of this. So this is just a little metaphor about seasons, and maybe they're not exactly what you think. Maybe you're not in a downtime. Maybe you're just in a time when you want to move from masculine thinking energy into feminine energy. So write to me at Rori@CoachRori.com. Come to Siren Island. Let's see what you can see for where it is you feel like you're at and what you can call it instead of what you may be calling it. All I know is my hands are freezing, so I'm going to go in now. And I look forward to talking with you. So I hope to meet you soon.